The doctor advises her to marry an economist and move to South Dakota. Woman: Will this cure my illness? Doctor: No, but the half year will seem pretty long. We live in an age of growing polarization. From Hungary to India, from the Philippines to the United States, from the United Kingdom to Brazil, from Indonesia to Italy, the public conversation between the left and the right has turned more and more into a high-decibel slanging match where harsh words, used wantonly, leave very little scope for backtracking. In the United States, where we live and work, split-ticket voting is at its lowest on record. 81% of those who identify with one party have a negative opinion of the other party. 61% of Democrats say they view Republicans as racists, sexists, or bigots. 54% of Republicans call Democrats spiteful. A third of all Americans would be disappointed if a close family member married someone from the other side. In France and India, the two countries where we spend a lot of time, the rise of the political right is discussed in the liberal, enlightened elite world we inhabit in increasingly millenarian terms. There is a clear feeling that civilization as we know it, based on democracy and debate, is under threat. As social scientists, our job is to offer facts and interpretations of facts we hope will help mediate these divides, help each side understand what the other is saying, and thereby arrive at some reasoned disagreement, if not a consensus. Democracy can live with dissent, as long as there is respect on both sides. But respect demands some understanding. What makes the current situation particularly worrying is that the space for such conversation seems to be shrinking. There seems to be a tribalization of views, not just about politics, but also about what the main social problems are and what to do about them. A large-scale survey found Americans' views on a broad spectrum of issues come together like bunches of grapes. People who share some core beliefs, say about gender roles or whether hard work always leads to success, seem to have the same opinions on a range of issues, from immigration to trade, from inequality to taxes, to the role of the government. These core beliefs are better predictors of their policy views than their income, their demographic groups, or where they live. These issues are in some ways front and center in the political discourse, and not just in the United States. Immigration, trade, taxes, and the role of government are just as contested in Europe, India, South Africa, or Vietnam. But views on these issues are all too often based entirely on the affirmation of specific personal values. I am for immigration because I am a generous person. I am against immigration because migrants threaten our identity as a nation. And when they are bolstered by anything, it is by made-up numbers and very simplistic readings of the facts. Nobody really thinks very hard about the issues themselves. This is really quite disastrous, because we seem to have fallen on hard times. The go-go years of global growth, fed by trade expansion and China's amazing economic success, may be over, what with China's growth slowing and trade wars igniting everywhere. Countries that prospered from that rising tide, in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, are beginning to wonder what is next for them. Of course, in most countries in the affluent West, slow growth is nothing new at this point, but what makes it particularly worrying is the rapid fraying of the social contract that we see across these countries. We seem to be back in the Dickensian world of hard times, with the haves facing off against the increasingly alienated have-nots, with no resolution in sight. Questions of economics and economic policy are central to the present crisis. Is there something that can be done to boost growth? Should that even be a priority for the affluent West? And what else? What about exploding inequality everywhere? Is international trade the problem or the solution? What is its effect on inequality? What is the future on trade? Can countries with cheaper labor costs lure